Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a tutorial about this beautiful glossy editorial look with a little bit of flowers on the side. I'm absolutely loving it. This is one of my favorites. I'm so into editorial. I love all the gems and artwork on the face, so this has definitely been a pleasure to show you all the basic skills. I hope you really enjoy this video and give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe so you don't have to miss any more of my videos, and also hit the like button. And without further ado, please keep on watching on how to create this beautiful glowy look. Okay, so usually when I do a very glowy dewy skin, what I usually do is apply a little bit of Bear With Me by NYX. I absolutely love this stuff. I recently tried it and it's really good. I'm just going to spritz this all over my face just to sort of hydrate the skin a little bit more. And then I'm going to be using my Fit Me Maybelline concealer, which is in shade number 16, and I'm just going to be using that obviously to prime my lids first. I like to do my eyes before I do the rest of the face, so whatever I'm doing first of my eyes, that's what's happening. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of concealer on my eyelids just to conceal any of my dark sort of discoloration. So usually I like to use a very dewy foundation to create obviously the dewy look. You can use so many different things to create it, even with matte foundation, by adding a little bit of oil or a little bit of your moisturizer, mixing the foundation with your moisturizer. If you have full coverage foundations that are usually drier than the dewy foundations, so I recommend that you definitely use something that is already dewy, which makes it then easier. I'm just gonna go in with the shade Frosty from my Latte 2 Dominique's Cosmetic palette, and I'm going to be using this shade here just to set my eyelids, just to prep it for any eyeshadow that I am going to be applying on top. So now that I've prepped my eyelids, I'm going to be using a little bit of the shade Frappe. It's a really lovely shade, shimmery kind of shade. And I'm going to be applying that sort of all over my eyelid, just so that you can have a little bit of shimmer there and a little bit of shine, just to have that glittery effect that's going to reflect very nicely together with the glowy skin. Next up is going to be my little Conceal Correct Contour palette. I absolutely love this stuff. This really helps for your under eyes. I usually use the pink. As you can see, it's almost gone. It's my favorite. I usually apply that before I apply my foundation, just so that the under eye area has a little bit of darkness. It will perfectly cover it and get it prepared for a better look with the concealer that you're about to apply. So I really love that, especially if you have dark under eyes around this area. It really helps. Definitely I would recommend, and also because of its sticky texture, which really helps to sit in place rather than, you know, putting one little liquid sort of underneath and then put in your foundation and then put in another liquid on top, which may sometimes sort of mix together a bit too much. So I suggest that you definitely try this. You only need a little bit just to cover your dark under eyes where you need to, and you'll be good to go. You can instantly see that it's very much covered the darkness under my eyes. Usually for these type of looks, I think it is best to sort of conceal where you need to, you know, spot conceal where you just apply a concealer, for example, on your blemishes just to cover it, blend it, and very softly use a little bit of powder on top, and then you're good to go. You can apply your products and leave your skin basically bare. But in this situation, I'm going to be using a very light, dewy foundation. I'm going to be using the Essence Insta Perfect Liquid Makeup. This one is the Strong Matte Effect Waterproof, but for some reason, this type of foundation is quite dewy on the skin and it's very light. It can be buildable as well to medium coverage. And I'm going to be using my damp sponge. I have my NYX spray, which obviously I use to prime my skin first. So I'm just going to be spritzing a little bit of that onto my sponge and sort of squashing it in. As you all know, I'm just going to apply a little bit on my skin actually. I was gonna apply it on my sponge, but I think it's best that I just apply it directly. This type of foundation is best to be applied with fingers just because it works better and stays on the skin a little bit more, whereas with your brushes or anything it takes it off quite a bit because it is very light, but it's surprisingly quite buildable. It's got really good coverage. As you can see, it's got really nice coverage, but also it's very light, so it gives me that very nice finish on the skin, which I love. It's still quite dewy, as you can see. So although it says matte, for some reason it's very dewy. I really love the Essence foundations. Like, they sit like a glove. They're really soft, really pretty on the skin. Obviously I'm slightly tan, so I'm using the 60, but usually I would use the 50, which is a lot lighter. But obviously everybody gets tan in the summer. This is still quite light for some reason. I think I'm getting tan every day. It's crazy. Especially in London, to get tan is like impossible because the weather is never steady. So I literally apply my foundation everywhere. I know some people sort of don't apply around the eye area, but I still apply there anyway. And I'm going to apply a little bit of my concealer, obviously under the eyes and anywhere where I haven't covered already. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me 16, and I'm going to be applying that just under my eyes and forehead, the usual places where you want to highlight and also cover any darkness. So that's pretty much where I apply it. So it gives me a very natural effect, very light coverage, and covers what I need it to cover. So I do like it to be quite bright under the eyes, bringing it all the way up to bring some definition around my eyes, lifting my cheeks. Already, as you can see, if you go all the way up to your temple, you will definitely have that look of a lift on the eye. So now that everything is nice and smooth, I'm going to go ahead with the Huda Beauty Sugar Cookie Setting Baking Powder, kind of like. I think this is one of my favorites now. I've tried so many different powders and absolutely love this one. And I go in with my Kiko brush. This one is the 57. It's absolutely my favorite to go under the eyes. So what I do, I give it one more sort of touch up just to clear off any creases, and then I dab under the eyes. And I put quite a bit there because I usually do try to bake with this, and I find that if I bake with it, it definitely lasts longer. So I try to put quite a bit on there and then go in with damp sponge again over it, and it really moistures that area so it doesn't look too dry. Now I obviously want to take a bigger brush like this. This one is an angular brush, and it's usually used for blush, but I like to use it all over my face because I can also get into smaller places with the corners of this brush. So obsessed. This one is from the Body Shop, P32E. Very gently everywhere, all over, obviously all over. I think it's very important to use the right type of powder as well for your skin, and try out different powders that work for you, because some powders can be quite drying and it's not going to do what you need it to do for your skin. So definitely experiment and use different type of sort of powders and see which one works for you. But obviously Huda Beauty has a very good type of set of makeup that I really like. There are certain products that I'm obsessed with and certain products that I don't like so much, but I do love this powder, definitely my favorite. We are now going to move into the brows. So recently I've tried this new brow pencil by Maybelline, Brow Ultra Slim 1.5mm defining pencil in deep brown. It comes really tiny. It's literally micro. I usually use the NYX one, but I cannot find it either in espresso or ash brown, but I really like this one. This is like my latest baby. So what I'm going to do is go under the brows here like so, drawing a little line just to define the brow underneath and create that straighter line. And then I'm going to brush upwards a little strokes, just gently filling it in an upward motion and joining it on the corner. You know when you get to that stage where you overplugged this area here on the tail, and then you're just like, okay, I need to now wait for it to grow, so obviously I have to fill it out with the pencil. Yeah, that's me. This is what happened right here. That's why I need to now fill it out a little bit more. I'm going to be using my favorite brow gel. This one's by Brow This Way. I absolutely love this brow gel because it puts everything in place. To make this very dewy and sort of glowy, I actually have this beautiful product right here. This is by Danessa Mirycks Beauty Dewy Wet Balm. I absolutely love this stuff. If you haven't heard of her, please check her out. She is another makeup artist, awesome genius, and she came up with her own brand of different cosmetics for makeup artists specifically, but of course anybody can use it. It's something that everybody needs in their life, especially when they're doing editorial work. You just dab it very gently onto where you need to, and oh my god, beauty. It's just so beautiful. Obviously I'm gonna apply this on my face. Just wow. I don't know if you can guys see that, but you can tell the glow is beautiful. It's very gently sticky, so use very little at a time and build up on it. And oh my god, voila. I like to use it all across this area, all the way up onto the temples and obviously the cheeks. Moving it quite forward, even up to here, depending on the look you're going for, but I do like it to be quite dewy, glowy, so you can definitely tell the difference. Like, it's an amazing product. I'm so obsessed with this. Obviously I'm going to apply a little bit on my forehead too. It's got like a little bit of glitter, this balm, like a sort of golden glitter, but it's not like a very strong golden glitter, so it could pass for any type of look you're going for. She does it in different shades, but this one's very popular because it's that kind of color that you can use literally on anyone. So it's very popular color. I've literally been fighting online to get this. Only kidding. But no, it's been difficult to actually order it because it's been something that obviously everybody's been buying and being crazy over. So definitely recommend this. I'm obsessed with this balm because it creates such a beautiful finish. Now that we have that dewiness going on, I want to apply a little bit of more dewy kind of look, which is going to be one of my favorite sticks. This one's completely sort of natural lip and cheek stick by Burt on my cheeks, obviously along here somewhere. I don't want to drag it, otherwise it will definitely damage my base already that I already applied. So it is best to sort of just tap, as this is obviously an oily product. It gives you very natural finish and it gives you that glowy of look that just gives you that radiance. I'm just going to go in now with my PS Lip Vinyl Extreme Wet Look Finish Intense Color Lip Gloss, and this one is called Cali Peach. This one is from Primark. I absolutely love this color, it's so beautiful. I have these beautiful flowers that has literally died on me. It's been since my birthday and I literally have like a nice variation, so I'm going to be picking out a few little bits and bobs of these flowers to create the look that I want. So I'm just going to be using the duo glue. You can do duo glue, you can do any type of eyelash glue, so as long as your person that you're doing it on is not allergic to anything such as latex. You can use real flowers or you can use more like dried out flowers. It just depends, as some flowers can be quite poisonous, so do bear that in mind. But I'm going to be using the real flowers today for this look. I'm going to be using a lip wand, placing the glue where I want, dab it along where I need to. Onto here. Obviously, as they don't all fall in the same pattern, you need to work out how you're going to place these flowers and where. It just depends what you have in mind and what is your imagination. Now you don't want to overdo it too much with the flowers, so try to keep them as simple and gentle as you can. I also have another sort of color of this, so I'm going to be mixing them in between. I will be doing just the one side, but you could do both, either the brows or, you know, the forehead or the lips, anywhere you like. It's just about having the imagination and thinking what you want to do, as well as what your project is and what's your inspiration board. So it's all about the fact how you see it and how you view your art. To make it even more sort of intense after applying your mascara, you could also use a little bit of individual lashes just in between the lashes, so that way it looks a little bit fuller or a little bit longer, whichever you prefer. But I'm not going to just leave it with the mascara to make it as natural as possible. And then I'm going to go in with a white eyeshadow, which I'm going to be using from the Eyeshadow Compact Opulence. I'm going to be using the whitest shadow just in the inner corners of my eyes to really intensify it and really open up the eyes. So this is it, guys. As you can see, it's very natural, very glowy type of skin. It's very dewy, so you would get a definite sort of a very glossy type of a look. wet kind of look, and I did go all the way up to here, but you could go, you know, as low as you like and add obviously different flowers. This is the way I did my flowers. You can do so many different variations with this.